Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Metropolis Radio, and today I am making a very bold prediction. Actually, it might not be as bold as some of my others, but anyway, I am predicting that Avatar: The Way of Water is going to be a box office bomb. And how I arrived at that conclusion is very simple. I came across this article from Variety here, and that is Avatar: The Way of Water on track to open to $150 million to $175 million, obviously opening weekend. Right now, if this were any other movie going like post 2020, that's not a bad opening weekend. But let's get into the article here, and you'll see my point in just a few minutes. Right here, moviegoers are pretty psyched to return to Pandora. I will go out of my way to say that is a very bold statement by Brett Lang, because I have not really seen anybody talk about Avatar 2 to that extent. To the point where, like, they are very psyched to return to the world of Avatar and Pandora. Okay. Where's all the big movie press covering Avatar: The Way of Water, right? A new trailer drops. Okay, new trailer drops, but just like the first movie, it kind of comes and goes. Anyway, Avatar: The Way of Water, James Cameron's next epic adventure, is poised to open to at least $150 million domestically when it debuts in theaters in December. Early tracking indicates that opening weekend figure could fly even higher, reaching $175 million or more. Avatar: The Way of Water has been in the works for years, with Cameron blowing past several deadlines. Yes, remember when Avatar 2 was originally supposed to come out in 2014? Well, Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Anyway, getting back to that, Avatar: The Way of Water has been in the works for years, with Cameron blowing past several deadlines and release dates with his drive to push technology and cinematic gadgetry to the limits. The first Avatar opened to $77 million back in 2009. Worth noting, however, that there was a major snowstorm in the US that weekend, which muted grosses. Also, with Avatar, I'm remembering back to 2009, I remember seeing very little marketing for the first Avatar movie. The only way that I knew Avatar was even a thing back in 2009, I was in the 7th grade when it came out, just to put it into perspective for you guys. The only way I knew that Avatar was coming out to theaters was that they had a McDonald's Happy Meal deal. If I can find the commercial, the McDonald's Avatar toy commercial, I'll put it in here. If I can't find it, you'll just continue to hear me talk.
There are all kinds of things in the world of Avatar, like super cool toys that will play with you.
Hey! It hears me!
When you play with them. There's one in your McDonald's Happy Meal.
So yeah, let's not pretend that the first Avatar movie was set to be a major hit right out of the gate. Not only was it brand new IP, but again, how many people legitimately saw, any advertising for it at the time? But here we go. It went on to build and build, becoming a box office phenomenon thanks to its innovative use of 3D. Avatar ultimately grossed $2.7 billion globally. That number has gone up to around 2.9, but that's through re-releases. That figure will be hard to match post-COVID, with the box office still struggling to rebound and major markets like Russia closed to Hollywood. Avatar: The Way of Water did get a boost this week when it was announced that it would open simultaneously in China. That market has been difficult to penetrate for studios. Government regulators have handled Hollywood films unpalatable release. Unpalatable. Let me repeat that, because I'm twisting my own words. That market has been difficult to penetrate for studios. Government regulators have handed Hollywood films unpalatable release dates in recent years in an effort to grow the country's filmmaking economy, and as political tensions have increased with the U.S. Cameron made it clear that Avatar 2 comes with a big price tag, so it needs all the help it can get. In an interview with GQ, also known as Gentleman's Quarterly, but nobody calls it Gentleman's Quarterly anymore, Cameron called it the worst business case in movie history and said, quote, "You have to be the third or fourth highest grossing film in history. That's your threshold. That's your break even." So let's put that into perspective. The third highest grossing film of all time is Titanic at $2,187,535,296 made. The fourth highest grossing movie of all time is Star Wars The Force Awakens, with $2,068,223,624 made at the global box office. So Avatar 2, Avatar The Way of Water, has to make a minimum of $2,200,000,000 to just break even. Right? Keep that in mind. It has to hit that just to break even. And let's put this into another context. The box office of 2021, Spider-Man No Way Home, top movie of 2021 at the worldwide box office. Guess what? Not even Spider-Man No Way Home cracked the $2 billion mark. Spider-Man No Way Home only grossed $1,910,041,582 worldwide. Now you might be thinking, whoa, that's not exactly a small chunk of change there. You're not wrong. It isn't a small chunk of change. But by comparison to how much money Avatar needs to make, Avatar The Way of Water needs to make just to break even, Avatar can't just hit $1 billion globally. You'll get the headlines. Avatar The Way of Water, billion dollar global box office. Guess what? It's still gonna lose money for Disney. And I'm not gonna drag this video out longer than it needs to be, but I am gonna end this video with this. It's the final paragraph of an article here from Screen Rant, published actually the day I'm recording this, and that is Avatar 2 budget reportedly revealed, and it's much larger than expected. Here's where they reveal that, here we go. According to sources close to the production, the movie is one of the priciest in Hollywood history, costing between $350 to $400 million to make. But anyway, I want to close it off with the last paragraph here, right here. Since Avatar The Way of Water is a highly anticipated sequel, again, that's up for debate. It could make over $1 billion at the box office. That I don't doubt. I think Avatar The Way of Water will join the $1 billion box office club. But as we've already brought up, it's got to make a minimum of $2,200,000,000 just to break even. If it makes only $1 billion at the global box office, it's still a box office bomb by James Cameron's own admission. But here we go. But many fans have wondered if the movie will recapture the same success as the original, since 3D has become a fad for most moviegoers. In 2009, Cameron introduced the world to a new approach to digital 3D with Avatar. However, after its release, many studios post-converted their blockbusters to 3D, and the result wasn't the same as when a film was shot in native 3D. But now that 3D is no longer a novel technology and has been mostly dismissed throughout and prior to the pandemic, the sequel may not make the desired box office numbers to break even and could put Avatar 4 and 5 in jeopardy. Cameron confirmed that Avatar 3 would get released no matter what the reception for his previous sequel would be, but the production of Avatar 4 and 5 is contingent on the success of the next two movies. Time will tell if Avatar The Way of Water will sweep the box office when it releases exclusively in theaters on December 16th. So again, if Spider-Man No Way Home didn't even crack $2 billion at the global box office, and this was just the year prior, this was the box office of 2020, what do you think the odds that the first Avatar The Way of Water will crack the $2 billion mark? Okay, Avatar The Way of Water is releasing 13 years after the original, and let's be honest, Avatar has nowhere near the same cultural impact as a character like Spider-Man does. I don't care how much you like the first Avatar movie. If you like the first Avatar movie and cannot wait to see Avatar The Way of Water, you've already pre-purchased your tickets, you're gonna go see it opening night, good for you. But you even need to acknowledge that Avatar has nowhere near the same cultural impact as a character like Spider-Man, and not even Spider-Man could cross the $2 billion mark at the global box office. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end it right here because I've already made my point with this. If you stuck around this long, thanks so much for doing so. And if you've been following me long enough, you know I'm terrible at ending these videos, so I will just see you guys next time.